wasted monies, lost opportunities. We all need to make important financial decisions, like choosing the most effective financial security plan. Financial decision factors to consider: understanding financial freedom, leverage credit, and use debt to build wealth and become your own bank. Join me every Monday at 8 p.m. on the Tobago Inspirational Network for steps to financial freedom that will teach you the principles to transform your life, increase wealth, and create a lifetime security. Good day to you once again, and welcome to another program of Steps to Financial Freedom, where we are here. Our goal is really to put back the monies into the pockets of those that make the monies. Well, today we have a special guest on the program, and I know for the past weeks we've been talking about mortgages and financing, and so we'll take it a step further. Today on the program, we have our accountant, a well-known accountant, that is Kendall KB from the Synergy Professional Accountants, and he will help us today to put some monies back into our pockets by taking some very small steps with our finances, so that we can live a happy life and have our goals. Kendall KB, welcome to the program of Steps to Financial Freedom. And tell us briefly, in a few words, tell us a little about yourself and your company, and we'll get straight into the meat of the matter.
Oh, okay,
Yes.
good. Excellent. Well, Synergy Accountants is presently based number 4 Backlet, Scarborough, Tobago. We have another branch in Trinidad and St. James, and we focus on business development and financial assistance generally. We also deal with business plans, and we deal with liquidation, which means that we would set up the business and close if possible. And that is about it in a nutshell.
Oh, great, wonderful. We talk about business, and there are a lot of businesses in Tobago, and one of the reasons why I was passionate to have this program in place, so that businessmen and women in Tobago can capitalize on the opportunities available to them. From my experience, there are a lot of unstructured businesses. So when they approach financial institution, they are unable to have finances because they cannot prove their income. And even as we talk about mortgages, owning your own home, or mortgages for a business venture, it proves quite challenging. And that's why today I would have invited you on the program to talk about some of those things. How can we help these business and from the startup process? I know we will have to work with a plan. And a 2 to 3 year plan would be good enough so that they can provide the kind of requirements necessary for support from the financial institution. In the startup process of a business, Mr. KB, tell me something. How can you really assist in the startup process of a business? Someone who they don't have a structured business, but they want to get it started so that they can meet the kind of the criteria to have assistance from financial institution.
Okay, Mr. Parris. Well, businesses need to start with a business plan. Many persons are unable to create one themselves, so we can assist with formulating a plan and going through step by step the plan from, well, a business plan is not one that will expire or should expire. A business plan is ongoing, so that is the first thing that person needs to know. Business plan would be amended from time to time. So the plan should be short-term, medium-term, and long-term. It should speak about how the business should start, how it should set up, the employees, the target market, how long they should remain with 2 employees, how long they should start with 3, and how long they should go on to 4 and 5 and so on. The business plan should be sort of detailed. Many persons have the idea of what they want to do, but they don't have a plan. The difference between an idea and a plan is one is more structured, detailed, and an idea is more a picture. Many persons believe they have a plan, but they really do have an idea. So they run into the problem of dealing with parts that they didn't cater for at the beginning, I should say. And this is where the trouble comes in. And those type of problems might come from staffing problems. It might come from business growth. The business might start to develop too quickly, and they might have trouble in managing cash flow, and they might have staff issues as in how to relate to the customer's demand on time and so on. And some of them don't even know the target markets that they would attract. You know, so the plan would really outline in detail the step 1, 2, 3, 4 procedures as to how they would approach the market, who the target market might be, and their short-term targets, medium-term targets, and more so long-term targets.
Great. And you know, our focus is on the more micro business. Really, in Tobago, you know, Tobago is a developing community, and the micro business. Maybe someone is a sole proprietor or has a partner within in the business. Maybe it's the wife or the children or a friend. In terms of the business structure, how would you advise a micro business, someone starting up, to really, in terms of registering the business and set it up? Is it in a sole proprietor? You advise Tobagonians at this point in time to get into limited liabilities. What would you advise to do?
Well, a small business or a micro business is relative to what you really want small to be. And small can be a company, and small can be a sole trader, small can be a partnership, or any structure that comes from the legal affairs, which means legal affairs is the governing authority that will deal with the registration aspect of the business entity. And businesses can come together in a form of partnership, and it can be called a small business. It can come together as sole trader, which means 1 or 2 persons joining together, but one partner of the group would take the responsibility of the business, and that is called a sole trader. So persons have to be careful as to what arrangement they want to make legally, because it does not mean that once the business is of a particular size, it means that it is a sole trader, or it is a partnership, or it is a company. You know, all entities, I should say, start from small, and small is relative, and they go to medium size, and they go to large. And I would say I would encourage persons to get into a business plan arrangement, ensure that they understand what it is they want to do at the small level, medium size level, and large level, and consult an accountant or someone who already in the business, so that they can assist in explaining what is the difference between a sole trader or a small business or medium-sized business, so that persons can understand as to their challenges, right? Because I think that is one of the downfall with most of the small men who would try to start up a business. They do not understand what they have to challenge, what they have to deal with. They do not know the scope. They do not know the market. A man might believe that he's going to Scarborough and he would sell nuts. He believed that he would sell nuts to people in Scarborough, from Scarborough, but Scarborough is only the market, a place where buyers and sellers come together. The person can come from Roxborough and be in Scarborough. So they need to understand on a wider basis what it is they're dealing with and the challenges that it might face so that they can prepare themselves for those challenges.
Here, my interest here is having these people, these businessmen or those aspiring in business to qualify for financing, so that financing from financial institutions, so that they can get their dreams and visions alive. Yeah, and here is where you can be of great assistance, providing those kinds of services, and quickly look into the camera and give out your telephone number, because I want you're listening to this program, you're watching this program, you're interested in getting your business off the ground. I'm interested in giving you the financing, but here is it. I am bringing a professional so that he can guide you along, so that you can get the financing that you need to get your business alive. Give the viewers out there your telephone number.
Right. Well, you can contact us in our Trinidad branch, 622-4001, or Tobago branch, 639-3467. And our operators are ready and willing to take your information, and you can come in and sit with us. We would be able to start with you from a business plan perspective, so that we can understand what your dreams really might be, and we can put things together so that the financiers, the banks, or the other financial institutions would be able to see clearly or clearer what your financial needs might be. And Mr. Parris, I really want to say it is a great pleasure, to be on this show. And persons really need to understand the plan, and the business plan is the main aspect of why persons might fail or succeed, especially at the startup level, because they do not understand, and as I would reiterate, persons do not understand their challenges, and they do not understand record keeping, which is a very important topic, which we might be able to go into in further details in our next broadcast.
Yeah, well, great, because now we have the startup process. Now, during the process, you made mention of record keeping. During the process now of a regular business operation, and this business has now started. Let us say we have the startup, now the process. One of the things, and I would like us to briefly touch on, why is it so important to keep records?
Record keeping is extremely important. Record keeping is to remind the person who is actually making the records as to what had happened in the past, and it is to remind, more importantly, the persons who would be reading the records as to the potential of the business. And I would explain that further. Now, an individual needs to know how to take records, and records can be gathered in different ways. And I really don't want to go into the more complex area where the accountant would make their specific journals as to how they would keep their higher entries, but there is something called basic records, which is receipts and payments, and many small businesses should be able to at least keep those basic records, so that accountants or experts can use those records to develop it into more meaningful information to the financial institutions. And the institutions would expect at least income and expenses on a regular basis. And regular would mean day to day. A businessman needs to record all the payments that they would make to their suppliers, and suppliers would mean the people who they would purchase the goods that they would sell. All right? And these accounting jargons could be very complex. So I really don't want to.
Well, let us make it simple. Let us make it simple for the those that it's new and foreign to. And when they sit and talk with you, you can get into details.
Right.
But this is an introduction. so that you can have an opportunity to get your record straight, so that you can come to financial institutions where you can, once you provide your records, then you would meet criteria for financing, so that you can live your goals and your dreams. Now, let's talk a little about taxation and how can you even help persons to put back more monies into their pockets with the tax system that we have?
Well, that is a very interesting topic. That is a very, very interesting topic, and it is really based on the record keeping, and record keeping is not a simple process. All right, it could get very complex. All right, what persons need to do is to take the basic records of all the income and all the expenses, and they would have to get the advice of a tax consultant or an accountant to be able to put it together in the specific structure that is required by the tax authority. And the tax authority would look at sole trader, would look at partnership, would look at limited liability, and there are different structures. Yeah. So it is really for the persons, individuals, to consult with a professional person in order to get it into the correct structure at first, and then they will be able to make the more complex entries, because it is not something that an individual should take the challenge for themselves.
I think this is a very important piece of information here, and persons that are watching, there, many persons are losing monies without having the proper tax structure. I want you to look into the camera again, give your number, and so that we can put back some monies back into their pockets coming the next tax year. So look into the camera, give your number there, so that they can call you after. Right.
Our Trinidad branch, again, the number is 622-4001. Tobago branch is 639-3467. You can call us at any time. And we do outsource accounting, which means that we would come to you, we would sit with you, we would partner with you, we would offer a personalized service so that you understand your needs, because we would help you, help yourself in your financial goals.
And you can get me on 791-2174. You will see the number there on the screen, 791-2174. Great. Business growth. And here is a big part of it. Before we move on to business growth, all that we've been talking here today, to this point, we're getting to providing a yearly financial. Yeah? And this is what the financial institutions look at, providing a yearly financial. How simple is such a process for you, the accountant, with the kind of support, the real support from the clients or business prospects?
Okay, I mean, I want to be clear on the question. Can you repeat?
Yeah. Record providing a financial at the end of the year.
A financial
statement.
Good.
Right. At the end of the year.
Right.
If I'm going to give you financing, I want to see financials of your business. Now, this is a startup business.
Right.
I can look at financial statement for a year, 2 years. If it's 3 years, you're in a stronger position.
Right.
But if you now start,
right.
How can someone be able to provide a financial statement at the end of 1 year?
Right. Well, the challenges with most of these small businesses is that they do not, it comes right back to the business plan.
Great.
It comes right back to the business plan. And from the business plan would explain, based on the capability of the owner or owners in the case of a partnership, it would explain at what point an accountant would come in and the level in which is required from the accountant.
Yes.
And if a business is in the startup stage, let's say 6 months, and they're having cash flow problems, what can happen is the business can put together what is called a projection.
Yes.
And a projection would outline the profit or loss that will happen in the business based on probabilities, based on assumptions, based on the market, based on market research, based on the particular product. So that is why the business plan is very important. So it all boils down with persons getting together with someone who know about the market and who know about business plan to structure that business plan so that their short term, their medium term, and their long term will be satisfied, and even the financial institutions will be satisfied. Most of the financial institutions, especially at the startup stage, will ask for a business plan. So this is where persons will more than likely fail if it comes to that, because their structure is not there at the business plan level. So the business plan will also incorporate projections. It would also incorporate history information if the business is 1 year old. So a business plan alone can be enough information for a financial institution to understand the wealth and the worth of the business so that they can know whether or not they want to invest, yes or no.
Great, and that's why I brought you on the program. I had a look at your some of the work that you have done, and I commend you for some of the work that you have done, indeed. And I'm looking forward to have you do some more work for the Tobago people, the Tobago business people. And just before we go, let us talk about just a little about home ownership and how persons can use a business, let's say for an apartment. You don't have any business, you have a piece of land and you want to use it as equity to build a business, let's say apartment flats also. How can an accountant help that person to get to that stage where they can qualify for financing?
Okay, well, many persons have, especially in Tobago, have a structure where they will own the entire building, but they would occupy part. The other part of the building would be used for rentals. A business is any operation where you would seek to make a profit, right? And persons would have rentals and they're not sure as to whether they're in business or not. They're not sure whether they're qualified to go to a financial institution to ask for additional income, from the institution. Persons really do not know as to what they can do or what they can't do. So they really need to, as I would always say, get in contact with a financial institution who would put you onto an accountant, who would put you onto a consultant, who would put you onto someone who would be able to start with a plan. It all boils down to a business plan. And anytime anyone is interested in soliciting anything that is legal for financial gain, they should have a plan. And I always remember a very important person to me a long time ago said that a man without a plan is no man at all. And I would always start with the plan. So I have been saying it from the start till now that persons need to come together at least once at the beginning, meet with someone who knows, so that they can put together a plan, so that they can follow. And if they're having problems, they can always go back to that person who assisted with the plan, so that they can show them the do's and don'ts according to the plan. And that will be able to give them the insight as to whether they would be able to qualify for 100,000, 1 million, 2 million, because every equity or every property have some measure of gaining additional income. But the consultant or the accountant would know how to put it together in the form of a plan.
Oh, great. That sounds like if I were you, I would have picked up the phone right now and call Synergy Accounting. Or you can call me on 791-2174. And you also have the numbers for Synergy Accounting. For the last time, give the viewers out there your numbers here and so that they can call.
Right. You can get us at our Trinidad branch again at 622-4001 or at our Tobago branch 639-3467.
Great, Mr. KB. It's really, really a pleasure to have you on the program. Any final words for those that are aspiring to do business out there, those that have a business already, but it's not structured, or those that already has a structured business, but don't have the kind of accounting to support that business?
Well, Mr. Parris, you know, I will not stop saying that the advice is, people, please get to an accountant or someone who can assist in putting together a realistic business plan so that you yourself can see the challenges, and you would put things in place to challenge those challenges so that you can be successful at your financial endeavors.
Yes, great. I do hope to have you on many more programs where we can go into some more in detail accounting assistance for persons that are out there, so you can live your dreams, that dream which you had for the short term, long term, and medium term. It was indeed a pleasure to have you on the program, Kendall KB. And I thank you once again for coming to share such valid information with us here today so that we can make more informed decisions. As the Bible says, the people perish because what? They lack the knowledge. Yeah?
Yes.
And now the knowledge is out there, and the opportunity is there for all Tobagonians to establish themselves in some business, even if it's a sweetie stand. You can qualify for financing to enlarge yourself indeed. Thanks again, Mr. KB, for being on the program here. And viewers out there, brothers and sisters, continue to watch the program, Steps to Financial Freedom. We'll have a lot more for you. And take this information, run with it, call us so that we can take you to the place where you desire to be. Your dreams are closer than you ever think. Thank you again for watching the program, Steps to Financial Freedom. Thanks again, Mr. KB. Yeah. Wasted monies, lost opportunities. We all need to make important financial decisions, like choosing the most effective financial security plan. Financial decision factors to consider. Understanding financial freedom. Leverage credit and use debt to build wealth and become your own bank. Join me every Monday at 8 p.m. on the Tobago Inspirational Network for Steps to Financial Freedom that will teach you the principles to transform your life, increase wealth, and create a lifetime security.